All right, so I got a reaction coming at y'all real quick, man. I saw this the other day on TikTok, man. I thought that thing was funny, man. Let's get into it, bro.
Somebody grabbed one of your kids and they kidnapped him. And they said, listen to me, and they said they were gonna kill him if you didn't sell 50 cars. Would you sell 50?
Could you imagine trying this tactic on your kids, like when they struggling with homework? It's like, okay, if Johnny had 2 apples and his friend brought 3, how many apples did he have? And he say 4, and you just pick up the dog by the scruff and hold a knife to the dog throat and be like, if you get it wrong again, I'm killing the fucking dog. This is how you know capitalism is on its last leg. There's no more like, wake up early, hustle, grind. It's a mindset thing. Them motherfuckers is like, I will kill your fucking kids.
Boy, I laughed so hard when I first saw this shit. Oh my god, bro. It be so funny listening to some of these people like try to get you into a particular mindset to do this stuff. It's like, why does it have to be some of the most drastic shit you ever heard? Like, why do I have to think about my kids being kidnapped for me to go to work? It don't make sense, bro. If I gotta put myself in that mindset just to go to work, bro, that's crazy. Let's finish it up, though.
You don't sell 50 cars. Also, if you have to imagine that your kids are gonna die, maybe selling cars just ain't your shit. Maybe take up pottery. Hey, that is low stakes. These people are running out of things because it's like everybody sees like all this hustle, grind culture shit is bullshit. And it's like you have to basically, I remember Gary Vee, this is when I knew like he was out of his fucking mind. He was like, sometimes I just sit at home and I just imagine like somebody called me telling me my fucking kids died. My mom died. And then I get up and I work. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, bitch? I don't want to work that hard. Just try your best to find something that you enjoy doing without having to think about the death of your children. Or that your kid will get kidnapped so you can sell 50 cars. You can't sell 50 cars because people can't fucking afford it. Tough economy.
Oh shit, boy, I laughed so hard when I first saw that thing, man. I said, you can't sell 50 cars because people can't fucking afford it. Whew. But I wanted to touch on this thing, man, because it was a teachable moments in this video, man, when it comes to that like that hustle culture, you know what I'm saying? Like that no sleep culture, like you need to like, you know what I'm saying, you can rest when you die type of mindset, you know what I'm saying? Especially talk about just going to work and making money, you know what I'm saying? That's not a good way to live, bro, at the end of the day. It's really not. It don't make a lot of sense when you think about it from a biblical perspective. From a biblical perspective, that don't make a lot of sense. And we're going to go in the Bible. That's just a horrible way to live in the first place. You got to really think about the mindset. When you, at the very beginning of the Bible, man, it was a punishment. It was a punishment to do manual labor. Stop it, fam. Stop it. It was a punishment. We're gonna do some reading, so just bear with me. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that had little business shall become wise. Because this is one of the portions that I was talking about with the hustle culture. You know what I'm saying? If you work at work all day, there's no way for you to gain wisdom. There's no way for you to learn and study. It's the wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. You having free time. You increase your wisdom with free time because you have time to study. You got time to rack your brain and, you know what I'm saying, really put some serious time and effort into your studies. Most brothers, when you in that hustle culture, you ain't got time to do that. Verse 25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow and that glorifieth in the gold, that driveth oxen and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks? Because Those brothers don't have no wisdom. Only thing they can talk to you about is their job. That's the only thing they can talk to you about. Their wisdom is in their job. It'd be so weird to me sometimes, like, because I rarely want to talk to people about my job. I don't like people know me. When I talk about my job, this is how I talk about it. It's a plantation, bro. At the end of the day, it's a plantation, bro. I don't want to be there. I'm there to get paid. That's the only reason I'm there. If it wasn't no money involved, I wouldn't be there. It just is what it is. But I don't want to talk about the job. I don't want to talk about the hustle culture. I don't want to talk about how I got to get up early in the morning to do this shit. I don't. I would rather not. Verse 26. He giveth his mind to make furrows and is diligent to give the kind fodder. Now, obviously, this is just going to talk about doing a lot of work, basically, right? I want to jump just to get to the point. I'm going to start at 32. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judges' seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken. Because these brothers, they so knee deep in that hustle culture, they so knee deep in making money, that when it comes to real matters about life, when it comes to real situations where you having to listen to a situation, you having to hear both sides, you can, okay, you wrong based off what's being said here. Okay, I know that you're lying because of this, but you got to put in the studying to do that. You got to put in the man hours in wisdom to do that. As the scriptures say, having your senses exercised in good and evil. When you read this from the top down, the only thing them brothers is exercising is how to make money. The only thing they got expertise in is their job. Let's read it again. They shall not be sought for in public council, because nobody's going to come and ask you questions like, hey, bro, I got this problem going on. How can you help? Can you give me some counsel? Can you give me some advice on how I can, you know what I'm saying, get out of this situation? When it's a problem going on and the community need help, you're not going to be a part of that small little huddle of men that's putting their minds together to say, oh, okay, we're going to have to fix this. Our people need us to fix this. Okay, what ideas do y'all have? Right? You might help finance it, but you're not going to be there to mastermind the plans. It is what it is. Nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. Because you understand the sentence of judgment because you're reading the law. You're reading the books. You're reading the how the Most High want these situations and scenarios to go. You're not going to understand why this judgment is being passed because you're not reading it. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken, because that's what wise men are. Those men ain't sitting around talking about their damn job. I'm gonna just be honest with you. They not doing that. Verse 34, but they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft, because only thing they care about is the money at the end of the day. That's all they care about. And that's all they really good for. It is what it is. It's sad to say that, but it is what it is. Let's get some more. Because the reason why they try to push that notion so hard in America, man, you know what I'm saying? Because they want us to get away from the things that actually matter. They want us to get away from the things that actually matter. Watch this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Actually, I want to jump up a verse. Verse 11. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. Because there's no point in working super hard like that if you don't have no wisdom to pass down with the inheritance. And that's one of the things that people never really talk about. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many stories we've heard about how super rich people don't want to give their money to their children. Why? Because you didn't have the time to instill no type of you know what I'm saying, hustle into your kids. They don't know how to keep the money. They don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, keep stacking on top of the money, right? So by the time the next generation come, the money gone. Why? Because they didn't have no wisdom. The wisdom that it took for you to build that money up, you wasn't passing that down to your kid. Let's read it again. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. Because the wisdom with the money is what keep the money rolling. That's how you keep the money in the family. But that's not usually what happens in the black community, especially when you're talking about capitalism. Because most of our people, that money don't move down generations. Verse 12. For wisdom is a defense. Think about the mindset of the wording that's being used. It say wisdom is a defense. And money is a defense. Now, in our communities, for the most part, we like to get into these bags where money is the driving force of all these different things, right? We like to get into that bag when it's only there to help you get out of particular situations. It's there to keep the lights on, right? Keep the heat on, right? That's what the money for. That's what the money for. All those small little hiccups that make that cause inconveniences in your life, that's what the money for. Make sure everything is in line so you can live your life as smooth as possible. Let's read it again. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Because in life, bad things gonna happen to everybody, right? But that's what the wisdom and the money is for. It protects you from those inconveniences that pop up. Damn, something happened down the street. I gotta send some money to my son. Okay, my daughter need this. Okay, damn, some going on out of state. I need to go help the brothers down this way. That's what the money for. That's what the wisdom is for. But we don't have that mindset dealing with the money. But this is the thing. This is the balance. You gotta think about the balance that's being used here. It's putting wisdom and money at the same. He's talking about both of them at the same. It got to be a balance. Because if you're only doing the money, if you only going to work, but you ain't getting no wisdom, you're gonna lose the money anyway. You're gonna lose the bread anyway. Let's get some more. Ecclesiastes chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 7. All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not full, it's not filled. Because think about it, right? You going to work all this time for resources. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you're going to work, to accumulate resources. But it's the problem. It's never gonna end. You're never gonna get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't need no more money. Okay, I don't need no more resources. That's never going to happen. You're never going to be full. You're never going to be filled with getting resources, right? Verse 8. For what hath the wise more than the fool? What hath the poor that knowing to walk before the living? Because what does it matter? It don't make you a better person if you're poor, and it don't make you a better person if you're rich. Because let's look at it like this, right? If you a rich man, but you don't know how to treat people, you don't know how to carry yourself, you a rich sinner, you're going to die in the first place. You're going to die anyway, right? But also, how can you sustain life if you poor, but you also know how to treat everybody? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Verse 6, better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. Let me read it again. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. Because it's telling you to be content with what you got. Instead of your mind wandering on what you want. Right? You want what you don't have. You want what you don't have. It's better to just be cool with what you got. Let's read it again. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit, because that's that bag that they try to have us in America. They want you chasing money. That's what they want you to do in America. They want you chasing money so you don't have time for the things that matter. That's what they do. It is what it is. Let's get some more. Let's get some more. I don't want to read this whole thing. But We gonna jump. We gonna jump. This First Timothy chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself, because that's a big deal, and especially in the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Some of these Christian pastors, they try to get into these bags of talking about what they have. They suppose that gain is godliness. So the reason why they driving the Benz, the reason why they got the nice house on the hill, the reason why they got the nice suit is because God loved them and because they so godly and so holy. The Bible tell you when men start talking like that, you supposed to withdraw yourself. That means get the hell away from them. Verse 6, but godliness with contentment is great gain. Why? Because going back to what the brother said, what Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, what it don't help you if you're a rich man and you know how to treat people, or you're poor and you know how to treat everybody. It got to be a balance. You got to have the wisdom and the money together, just like it say in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. It said godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain. So hustle culture, you're not gonna get destroyed by that when you content. Am I telling you to be complacent and not try to strive and do what's best for your family? No, I'm not telling you that. But you don't need to be killing yourself and committing sin and all types of evil to get to the money, because that's what most people do. I'm not telling you to sit around and be poor. That's not what I'm telling you. But please have a different mindset when you trying to get this money, man. Because the chasing out the money gonna end up landing you in some BS. Man. I'm just telling you straight up. This is Ecclesiastes, also called Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house. So it's telling you that you need to be content with what you have, right? That's the main thing that it's telling you. It say the chief thing for life is water, bread, and clothing, and a house to cover shame. If you have those things, you're doing pretty damn good, bro. I'm just keeping it all the way real with you. You got water, food, clothes, and a house, a place to stay. You're doing good, bro. It is what it is. Like Big Crit said, he said, food is food, water is water, air is air. The rest is mental. Okay. All right. He said, better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage. He said, better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage. A mean cottage is like your place is kind of beat up. You got a shitty house. You know what I'm saying? You got roaches and rats. But it's yours, though. Think about the mindset. I would rather have my own place that don't look that good than to be trying to live with my homeboy who doing very well for himself, but I'm mooching off this man. That's what the Bible telling you. That's what the Bible telling you. Let's read it again. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house. For it is a miserable life to go from house to house. For where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth. Because when you in another man's house, when you in another person's house, you don't make the rules. The Bible telling you if you having to stay with somebody, you need to shut the hell up while you living with them. You don't make no rules. You at the mercy of this person. But that's why it's telling you above, verse 21, the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing, and an house to cover shame. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage. So it's telling you what? Be content with what you got. The Bible tell you with all your power, do good to yourself and make sure the Most High get his, right? So if you got the capability to make a higher standard of living, that's not an issue. The issue is the mindset behind it. Don't be evil to get the money. Don't burn yourself out to get the money. Don't make the money the only thing that you out here striving for, because it don't make sense for you to get the money, but you ain't got no wisdom to go with it. That's Ecclesiastes 7. Wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. Without the two, it's not gonna be much of a defense to you because you ain't gonna have none. I'm just saying. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.